Welcome to Unveiling the Sacred with Jacob Noel. Here with the question for you. What does it mean to be spiritual? What does it mean to be human? Because to me, to be human is to be spiritual. Spiritual. To be human, we have to have spirit. Because what else is animating these bodies, right? When somebody dies, their body is still there, but their spirit is gone, right? So that means there's spirit inside of us. We are spirit. Living inside of the body, moving the body, right? But when you die, you leave the body, right? At least that's what it seems like. So that must mean that you are more than this. You are the life inside of it. So to be spiritual is to be human. I think that there's a notion that to be spiritual means to be positive and to not be negative, right? Good vibes only. But for me, I think that to push away something, to push away part of life, to ignore and shun and push away a part of ourselves, and to, only be positive, only this. That's not very spiritual because, look, we need all of it to be a whole human. So I would say to embrace everything is to be spiritual, to embrace life itself, in the good, the bad, all the opposites, the light, the dark, the quiet, the loud, the harsh, the beautiful, the soft, the hard, to embrace all of it, right? I think that we get caught up, I don't want to think about that. It doesn't make me feel good. And I'm not saying to be spiritual is to focus on the bad or the negative things, but we need to be aware of things. We can't just ignore things. To be spiritual to me is to stand up for what's right. To not create more hatred in the world as best as we can. If we are not contributing to the negative, if we are not contributing to the ugliness and the division in the world, then we're helping to heal it in a way. Because for hate to thrive, we need to continue feeding it. And all that evil needs to thrive in the world is for good people to do nothing. So for me to just sit and act like these things aren't happening, if I see a man assaulting a woman, and I can't just meditate that away. Sometimes you need to step up and step in. And as a man, to be spiritual for me is to be a protector. To stand up for those who can't stand for themselves. It's great to be positive. It's great to have optimism and enthusiasm. But realize that if you're pushing away a whole side of yourself, if you're ignoring your shadows and your darkness, that's not spiritual. At least that's not spiritual to me. To be a spiritual human being is to be fully human. To realize that you can create your own definition and your own idea of what things mean to you. Not to accept blindly someone else's view of life. Not to blindly do anything, really. You and me decide what it means to be human. To be human and to be whole is to be a full person, is to be spiritual. To slow down and look within and stop looking outside all the time for approval. To realize that everybody's on their own journey together. And so many of us are at different stages of development, right? If you can see more and you can see a little bit more than another, then it's, be there for them to help them see. Don't just look down on them. And I know that's pretty hard to do sometimes. But to be spiritual is to listen to another, to try to understand where people are coming from. To not always need to impose your view, to not always need to be right. To be spiritual means to have inner conviction and do what you feel is right, regardless of what's going on around you. To not need the approval of everyone else. To question things and remember, we're all just doing our best, right? But to question things and know that you're amazing the way you are, but you can always be better. There's always so many ways to look at things. So to have an open mind and always be willing to be wrong. Life's not about being right. Life is about learning constantly, evolving. And, that's what being spiritual is to me. Not being afraid to stand up for others, not being afraid to stand up for yourself, not being afraid to look funny, to feel awkward. Just do your best. Read the 4 Agreements. It's a great book. But yeah, just wanted to drop in with that little perspective for you and see what do you feel like it means to be spiritual. And I'd like to hear back from you guys, see what you think. So yeah, much love on this beautiful day. I hope you're doing well. Talk to you later.